Knowledge for Change is a charity registered in the UK and Uganda, and we support sustainable approaches to health system strengthening in Uganda with a focus on the access of those people who are reliant on the public sector. Today we're going to talk about our work in rehabilitation services for people with physical disabilities.
In 2017, Knowledge for Change met Ninsiima, a young mother who lost both hands in a brutal attack by her husband when she was 8 months pregnant. Ninsiima and her baby survived, and her experiences inspired Knowledge for Change to begin work to improve access to rehabilitation services in Uganda for people with limb loss.
So the idea was to see if there was any devices out there in the world, really, that could be used in Uganda, that were affordable, high quality, functional, looked good. So really we're searching around to see if there's any improvements we could make in the type of devices that are available for people with limb loss. When we first came to Buhinga, we found that Tom and our colleagues here, although they had some second-hand prosthetic feet, they didn't have the materials that they could use to put those feet into a prosthetic device. So at that point, K4C started to try and help them with materials like P-light, draping plastic, plaster of Paris bandage, the day-to-day bread and butter of prosthetics.
Now this partnership between Port Regional Referral Hospital, who fall under Ministry of Health, and then Knowledge for Change, has been set up to make it easy for the patients or for the people who need these services to access these artificial limbs.
The challenge facing Knowledge for Change was how to help supply these materials so that the workshop could function without giving things in an unsustainable way. Now, Knowledge for Change has students here from the UK on placement, and we make a contribution in the hospital towards their supervision. So the public-private partnership agreement we've come up with basically banks that contribution so that the hospital and our partners can make decisions about how to use that funding to supply basic consumables into the hospital and enable services to function.
So Legs for Africa's role in this partnership is to help provide the team at the Ninsiima Rehabilitation Centre with some of the prosthetic parts that they need to make up a prosthetic leg, which are modular and they all fit together. So the knees, the feet, the connectors, the adapters, and we collect these from all over the world, pre-used, with the understanding that a lot of these are discarded long before they've ceased to be useful, and with the right care and attention towards the safety of the user, by checking them and discarding any that aren't useful anymore, we can then bring them over to teams working in lower resource settings like in Fort Portal, and they can provide that option of mobility to someone who does not have the financial options for a new prosthesis.
Before the partnership, workshop looks like as if they are useless because we are not doing any work. I remember even when you go for a meeting, you could not present anything because you have not done much. You do feel like hiding yourself, but now, because now we have what to use, you show up.
Well, to add on that, to add on what Thomas just said, actually I wouldn't be here, you guys, if you are not in partnership with the hospital, because I myself am a prosthetic user. I can do my work in the workshop, I can move, go to any I want. So thank you guys for partnership.
Yeah.
Public-private partnership with Knowledge for Change is not starting now. We have been in this relationship for a bit of time. There is always expectation from both sides. So we have really come so close to one another. The two institutions have come so close to one another such that there is mutual benefit. The mutual benefit in terms of services which have been provided. You may recall that rehabilitation service in this hospital had really gone down. It had really gone down because of the insufficiency in supplies and insufficiencies in funding. So the partnership has now made the rehabilitation unit of this hospital to really be very busy to the extent that we are now seeing quite a number of patients coming to get their limbs fixed. And it has also made supplies now available. If you went to the unit right now, you will find the supplies are really available, and the patient numbers have also increased because now the services are available. Then also now, I think where we are now, in vis-a-vis the same service provided in other regional referral hospitals, I can rank that we should be somewhere at the top in terms of rehabilitation services.
The Rehabilitation Centre is a unique multidisciplinary hub that brings together experienced Ugandan technicians, the supply chain we've been building for 5 years, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, and virtual technology to enable co-working with experts from the University of Salford and across the world. We have developed a sustainable public-private partnership model for comprehensive, high-quality rehabilitation services for a low-resource setting.
Others do not expect to again walk without crutches. And once we are given them these limbs, they feel happy that they can go out in the disco and dance, they go for social evenings. They've gone back to work, to raise their cattle, go for social evenings, go back to school. Life has come back again.